I'm Kayla.
Sitting here in my beautifully renovated living room, looking at the photo of my grandmother and me smiling over tea, it's hard to believe how much my life has changed. Just a year ago, I was the forgotten daughter, invisible in my own family. But now I'm the owner of this house, a successful senior accountant, and most importantly, I've finally realized my worth. It all started last month at what was supposed to be a family celebration. My brother Ethan had just graduated with his MBA, and my family had conveniently turned my 26th birthday into a party for him. When I arrived at our old colonial house in the suburbs of Boston, a massive banner hung across the front porch. "Congratulations, Ethan. MBA class of 2027, with no mention of my birthday. Inside, the house was in chaos. Caterers were setting up, and the air smelled of expensive flowers. My mother, Sarah, spotted me in the foyer and thrust a list of chores into my hands. "Ethan's resting before the party," she said as if it was the most natural thing in the world. As I stood there, feeling the familiar weight of invisibility, I noticed a lavender envelope with my name on it, half hidden under a stack of mail. It was from my grandmother, Beatrice, a birthday card that they'd opened and discarded like junk. At the party, my father, David, made a toast to Ethan, proclaiming him the future of the family. Not a single word was said about me, even though it was my birthday, too. When I dared to ask about my place in the family's future, my father dismissed me, saying I was different and not really family. But then, my grandmother, the one person who had always seen me, stepped in. She led me away from the crowd and gave me a sealed envelope. "Your future," she said, "but don't open it here." I sat in my car for an hour, the envelope heavy in my hands. When I finally opened it, my world shattered. The first document was my birth certificate, proving that I was their biological daughter. For 26 years, I'd been told I was adopted in spirit, a lie my father had concocted to justify his neglect. The second document was an irrevocable living trust. It stated that I was the sole beneficiary of the family home and a significant savings account. My grandmother had bought this house for my parents as a wedding gift, but she'd never transferred the ownership. She'd always known my father's prejudice against me and had planned this trust to protect me. Over the next week, my family tried to get me to sign a waiver, pretending it was for the family's sake. But I was determined not to be deceived anymore. I called the lawyer, Mr. Thompson, who confirmed that the trust was real and enforceable. Finally, the day of the formal reading of my grandmother's estate documents arrived. We met at Mr. Thompson's office. My father walked in like he owned the place, confident that the house and money would go to Ethan. But when Mr. Thompson read the trust, my father's face turned pale. I stood up and presented the evidence, proving I was their daughter and the rightful owner of the assets. My father tried to deny it, calling it a forgery, but there was no denying the truth. For the first time in my life, I saw fear in his eyes. I gave my family 90 days to move out of the house. It was more consideration than they'd ever given me. As they struggled to come to terms with the new reality, I started to build my own life. I used the trust money to pay off my student loans, which I'd accumulated while working multiple jobs through college because my parents refused to support me. I also invested the rest wisely. Now, a year later, I've made this house truly mine. I've changed the decor, and I've removed the old family portrait where I was always at the edge. In its place, there's a photo of me, standing tall and confident in the center. My grandmother has moved into an assisted living facility near me, and we still have tea every Sunday. She tells me stories about my mother's past, and I'm starting to understand the woman she was before she married my father. My father took a part-time job to make ends meet after moving into a small apartment. My mother filed for divorce a few months ago, sending me a letter apologizing for not protecting me. Ethan has been in therapy and has sent me a sincere birthday card, but I'm still not sure if I'm ready to fully forgive them. Looking back, I realize that I spent too long believing a lie. I let their words and actions define me. But now I know that I'm not what they called me. I'm whoever I decide to be. And I've finally claimed my rightful place in the world.